What's up everybody, welcome to money management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And for today's video, guys, I have several quite interesting news. First of all, we have an update in one of the lawsuits, and I have to admit that this lawsuit might be extremely promising for MMTLP community, despite the fact that potentially it will be a class action lawsuit. I will explain you all the details, why it is very good for MMTLP community in general, and why you shouldn't be afraid of its nature. On top of that, guys, I will show you quite interesting update from one of our community members who published pretty much this step-by-step instruction how you can transfer your shares from AST to other accounts, and in my opinion it might be also very important and useful for MMTLP community. And before we dive deep into all of this, guys, please hit the like button for YouTube algorithm and drop me a line in the comment section if you think my videos are valuable for you. And as usual, I want to begin today's video with this number. For now, we have 412 signatures. 412 people who signed the open letter, who signed the petition that was published by Daniel Oxer, and that will be used in his litigation, and that will be used in his path to the resolution through the Congress. And definitely I expected more people who could sign this letter. But 412 people is also quite good number, especially if you take a look right here and if you read this entire letter, you will find out that potentially a lot of people don't agree with Daniel, because he also mentioned John Burda, Greg McCabe and the Next Bridge Hydrocarbons as the potential wrongdoers in this case. And yes, guys, some of you might not like this action, but at the same time we cannot have partial justice. Because if someone is guilty in the process of spin-off or in the process of, let's put it this way, advertisement of this asset back in the days, these people have to be prosecuted. On top of that, guys, every step in this type of processes will lead us to the resolution. And ask yourself honestly, do you care about the people or entities who will pay you remedies if they are guilty in this process? I think you don't care about them. That is why, guys, why in the world you don't want to pursue any possible path to the resolution? And why are you trying to cherry-pick the so-called necessary or the most prominent paths instead of pursuing all of them? In my opinion, it doesn't make sense. So, let's take a look at the most important update of today's video. And Mark Basile, as promised, published, basically he filed another update in his litigation. Let me quote you this tweet. Reply brief seeking approval to reopen case to file amended class action complaint filed. It's up to the judge now. And Busted Brands wrote this. Can you link to it for us to read, please? Good luck, Mark. And Mark responded, I'm sure someone in the MMTLP community will post it online this evening. Make sure it's read very carefully, understand the law and why it's maybe a kill shot. And guys, I am 100% agree with this statement. It is potentially a kill shot for the wrongdoers. And why I think so? Let me show you this set of tweets that were written by Roman Soups. And yes, you also might not like Roman as the MMTLP community member. But if you cannot argue with his statements and you just disagree with them without any grounds, guys, I think you have to think twice about his point of view. And I have to admit that yes, he is a quite controversial person, but at the same time, he publishes quite good updates on our case. And let me quote you this. Hot of the press, Intercoastal going for class action. Reply is in. Two trade stations attempt to snuff their plans for class action lawsuit. Space in an hour. And guys, if you want to know more about this update, you can listen to his space call. But let me show you further. Page 2 gets right into the point. Plaintiff wants to reopen the case and be allowed to file it. Exposes some silliness in TradeStation's previous reply. Looks like all business and right to the obvious. Looking good so far. And guys, he also added the screenshots of the document itself, but here you can find the entire document, and it is not the longest document, just 12 pages. And I have to admit that I've read it in its entirety, and it impressed me. This document impressed me, and I will show you what I'm talking about within just a couple of minutes. So, let me quote you further. Page 3. State the obvious. TradeStation asking to amend is not a second bite of the apple. It's an adjustment to the first bite of the apple. And he cites another lawsuit. Next one, page 4. B class action are preferred by courts over separate individual actions. Goes into why the court should allow a class action for efficiency. Points out FINRA cannot arbitrate a class action. And again, this is another quite important step because from the effectiveness point of view, class action lawsuit is much more effective in terms of the costs for the judicial system to make the resolution. And definitely this might be quite substantial argument in order to it might be quite substantial argument for the judge to allow this class action lawsuit. Next one, page 5. C. Prospective putative class members will suffer extreme hardship absent leave to file the proposed amended complaint. Good point that an order staying court for arbitration is not a final judgment. It's a stall to speak. And again, I'm not so familiar with this, with all the procedures, but from just ordinary point of view, I 100% agree with this statement as well. Next one, page 6. Explains class members will benefit from a class action over filing their own individual claims. Also says this matter should be before the court, not arbitration. And I will explain you within just a couple of minutes where I will tell you why this lawsuit is beneficial for all of the MMTLP shareholders. But first of all, let me quote you further. Page 7. PLSRA. High-net pleading does not apply to violations of Exchange Act Rule 15C 3-3, basically share lending and banking rules. And another one, I guess we have a couple of them, page 8 makes it clear they are suing for a violation of Rule 15C 3-3, subsection B, subsection 1, not for other fraud provisions. And again, Mark Basile is narrowing his scope, and this might also be very strong argument for the judge, because in this case judge understands that it will not be a broad litigation process. It will be extremely focused on one major goal, and in my opinion it is another very good bullet point. Next one, page 9. It is a direct speech. It is procedurally improper to the court to adjudicate any issues raised by TradeStation surrounding the proposed amended complaint at this time. Argues the court cannot judge the case yet before it's even amended. Makes sense. And yes, guys, it is 100% makes sense. Next one, page 10 says over 100 other account holders for TradeStation. Plaintiff, as well as more than 100 other account holders that held MMTLP securities at TradeStation during the class period, are entitled to their day in court. Page 11. I will, and by the way, guys, I will comment on this statement within just a couple of minutes. Page 11, last page, summary of the arguments. Well done, to the point. Ask the court to follow the procedures and rules of law. Good look, well done. And yes, guys, I 100% agree with Roman Subs, but let me explain you why this class action lawsuit might be very useful not only for the community members who held their shares with TradeStation, but for the entire MMTLP community. First of all, why it might be very beneficial for the people who held their shares with TradeStation. Here is the answer. There is not more than 100 or around 100 potential MMTLP shareholders who held their shares back in the days with TradeStation. At the same time, guys, TradeStation doesn't have an immunity. And TradeStation admitted that they had a share imbalance. All these facts lead us to the conclusion that if the judge rules in our favor, it will be a huge precedent for, first of all, for 100 people, and the payments will be divided, the entire payments that TradeStation will have to pay as the payments for the damages that they made back in the days. It will be much bigger than in any other so-called classical class action lawsuits where you can count thousands and tens of thousands of plaintiffs. At the same time, guys, this class action lawsuit will be a precedent for other for the entire MMTLP community, because guys, you know that for now TradeStation admitted that they had a share imbalance. This is the crucial point of the litigation. On top of that, guys, we know that there is 2.65 thousand short positions that was basically frozen during the U3 halt, and I have to admit that this number is not the number for TradeStation alone. This means other broker-dealers might have quite similar position, and this means, guys, if the judge rules in our favor, it will be a precedent to file quite similar lawsuits against other broker-dealers. And in this case, all of the MMTLP community members might benefit out of this litigation process, and definitely it will not be an overnight process. It will be quite, let's say, it will be a set of lawsuits, but they will be equal to this lawsuit that is filed by Mark Basil's law firm against TradeStation. And this is, guys, this is the crucial part of today's video. But on top of that, I want to show you another set of tweets from Roman Soups. He wrote this just several hours ago with all of the links to the proper pages of Equinity website. Here you can see this statement. MMTLP, how to sell next bridge shares from AST Equinity. And he added screenshots and the links to the process. And I have to admit that it is pretty much step-by-step process. He added, as you can see, transfer of ownership form. You have to file this form in order to be able to transfer your shares from AST to another broker-dealer. Next one, page 2 of transfer from medallion guarantee, like a notary stamp, but different, usually from a bank. He also explained some details how you have to file this form. Next one, frequently asked questions answered. And you can see that a lot of people basically had several questions about their transfers, and I have to admit that from the legal point of view, no one can hold your property without your permission. And that is why, guys, for now you still own the MMTLP and Next Bridge hydrocarbon shares, but you hold them on AST accounts. And it is still your assets. And that is why, guys, you have all the rights to transfer them whenever you want. And this is just a blueprint of the steps, how you can do it. And in my opinion, it is very important to understand that your shares are not frozen with AST, and if you want to transfer them, you basically can do it relatively easily. So let me show you another quite interesting update, this time from RareDD. He wrote this just 17 hours ago. He said, according to this 2020 comment letter, even Ari Rubinstein believes FINRA was wrong in the way they handled the MMTLP corporate actions. The role of regulators, according to Rubinstein, and here is the direct speech, ensuring full and accurate information is made available to investors to allow them to make informed investment decisions. FINRA did not do this even when they hijacked the MMTLP corporate actions. And I have to admit that Ari Rubinstein is potentially one of the people who were involved in the process of making MMTLP shares tradable back in 2021. And even if he thinks that FINRA made a mistake and they made a misleading statement, potentially, guys, Ari Rubinstein might be a witness in this case, and this is really mind-boggling in my opinion. So, let me show you another quite interesting statement from RareDD. He wrote it 11 hours ago. The more SRP's opinions you read, the more it makes sense. The SEC is protecting broker-dealers instead of investors. Why else would the SEC ignore the fact that FINRA harmed MMTLP investors when they broke their own rules? And he added this screenshot. It is a statement of dissent from the Commission's order approving the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority's proposed rule change, as modified by Amendment number 1 to address brokers with a significant history of misconduct. It was made by Commissioner Esther Pierce. And he also refers to his own tweet that he published just a couple of days ago. He wrote it in response to Esther Pierce's tweet. He wrote, "Do you believe in your own words?" And Esther Pierce previously stated, "It's time to restore companies to their intended purpose by drawing them away from socially and politically contentious rocks and cracks." And RareDD wrote, "Do you believe your own words? By your own admission, assuming you adhere to the wisdom of Alan Levinson, FINRA's actions concerning MMTLP were the exact opposite." And guys, yes, he also added several screenshots that prove his statements. And I have to admit that Esther Pierce even didn't know about the steps that were taken by the community members when she were answering to the questions of Charles Penn during the famous interview that he made about 2 years ago. She told to Charles that we have to write a letter to the SEC Commission, then they will start a procedure of investigation, and then they will settle every problem that we have. But unfortunately, guys, it didn't happen, and she even didn't know that we were in the process of writing the letters. At that moment, we already had tens or hundreds of official letters to Congress members and to other people who might be responsible to make a decision, but we didn't have any results at that moment. And guys, let me tell you my personal story. I have a wife and 2 children aged 11 and 15, as well as a small dog. After 30 years of living in Russia near the Baikal Lake, we decided to move. Now we reside in Serbia. Although I don't own any MMTLP shares, I invest a lot of time creating daily MMTLP videos. I have been doing this every day without days off and holidays for more than 1.5 years. Now I wish to buy back this time from my family, from my children. We've agreed that I will ask the MMTLP community to support me, and I will give all the money to the children. Therefore, if you believe that I am providing useful content for you and wish to support me, you can join my Patreon account. For $5 a month, I will add your name to my list of supporters if you wish. Thank you in advance. The link you can find in the description below. So, I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you.